Credit Crew Productions.
Silver Dollar City is one of three major amusement parks located in Missouri, and it doesn't take long to see that it stands well above the other two. Starting off with a little bit of history, in the late 1800s, Marble Cave, later renamed the Marvel Cave, was turned into a tourist attraction in the Ozark Mountains. As the popularity of the nearby city of Branson grew throughout the early 1900s, Marvel Cave began to see more visitors, and in 1960, Silver Dollar City was founded, establishing a full-fledged amusement park directly on top of the cave. Before I get into the actual review, I want to preface that Silver Dollar City is actually my home park, and I have been here more than any other park in the world. It truly is like a second home for me. With this being considered, I am going to try to be as unbiased as possible, but spoiler alert, I am going to give this park quite a bit of praise. To be fair, it is almost unanimously considered to be one of the absolute best parks in the entire country, if not the world. Silver Dollar City is themed to an 1880s frontier town in the Ozark Mountains, and this is not a loose theme. This park is fully committed to the frontier aesthetic, and there isn't an inch of this place that is lacking in theming. This park is separated into several distinct areas, all of which are filled with frontier-style buildings and unique shops, including an actual blacksmith. But the Main Street, Fire District, and Rivertown areas are highlights for me. The location of this park looking out over all of the nearby mountain scenery also adds even more character to an already stunning park. Unlike most parks, Silver Dollar City is a place where you will actually want to try some of the food. I've had many meals here and they are consistently very good. My top recommendations are the skillets throughout the park, the barbecue place in Rivertown, and of course, you can never go wrong with the cinnamon bread. Silver Dollar City is constantly updating the shows it has, and the ones that I have attended in the past have definitely been worth it. The Marvel Cave Tour is the most notable show, if that is what you even consider it, and it is included in the price of admission. And while this may sound a bit crazy, over the course of about 10 visits to the park throughout my years, I've never actually done the cave tour. So while I cannot personally recommend it, I have heard it is fantastic. The train ride also functions as a sort of show in itself, and is something I would recommend checking out. Outside of Disney or Universal, Silver Dollar City is about as premium feeling as you can find in a theme park in America, and that is definitely reflected in the price. Silver Dollar City ticket prices have increased in recent years and were just under $100 when I visited the park in March of 2026. So while significantly pricier than somewhere like a Six Flags park, the enhanced theming and great food along with friendly staff and fantastic operations make the experience more than worth it. In my opinion, Silver Dollar City is a 2-day park if it is your first time visiting, since there's just so much to see and do, but also because crowds can get fairly busy. As far as when to go, there really isn't a wrong time. Summer weekends or holiday events will likely see the longest wait times, but even then they are more manageable than some of the other parks out there. Two specific times that I would highly recommend are their Moonlight Madness and an Old Time Christmas events. The night rides at Silver Dollar City are great, especially Outlaw Run, which is one of the absolute best night rides in the world, and both of these events give you the opportunity for these night rides. Moonlight Madness sees the park's hours extended until 10 p.m. in late summer, and an Old Time Christmas fills the park with millions of Christmas lights after the sun goes down. It can get rather cold in Missouri during this time, so be sure to visit the park's website to see the temperatures that rides can run at if you plan to visit during the winter months. When it comes to rides, Silver Dollar City takes a quality over quantity approach, with a great balance of thrill and family-focused rides. Silver Dollar City lacks a bit in the flat rides department, but the Giant Barn Swing, Firefall, and Electrospin are some standouts. There's also the classic shooting boat dark ride, The Flooded Mine, and Grandfather's Mansion, which is a trippy walkthrough attraction. This park also really excels in its water rides, featuring American Plunge, a well-themed log flume with a good splashdown, Tom and Hook's River Blast, which will get you soaked, and Mystic River Falls. This is a huge raft ride that dominates the Rivertown area of the park and is one of the best water rides that I have ever been on. I have noticed that this ride does tend to get crazy long lines and break down quite a bit though, so I would prioritize it early in the day if it is on your list of things to do. As a coaster enthusiast, roller coasters are always going to be the main attraction at any park for me, and Silver Dollar City does not disappoint in this department, featuring 4 major thrill coasters. The B&M sit-down coaster Wildfire is definitely the weakest of the 4, but it does offer some decent inversions, a surprisingly good drop if you sit in the back row, and it is relatively smooth. The best part about this roller coaster though is the location. I mean, look at this thing. It has got to be one of the most picturesque coasters out there. Powder Keg is one of the most unique coasters in existence. It is extremely wonky, but also a ton of fun. It originally debuted as Buzzsaw Falls, a Premier Rise water coaster, and was renovated into what it is now in 2005. Powder Keg begins with a very punchy compressed air launch and goes into a layout filled with a series of airtime hills that provide some very sustained floater, similar to a B&M Hyper. The coaster also has a lift hill and drop at the very end of the ride, which is strange, but cool. Where Silver Dollar City's lineup really stands out, though, is in its top two of Time Traveler and Outlaw Run, what I consider to be one of the best 1-2 punches in the country and the two best coasters in the state of Missouri. Time Traveler is one of two currently operating extreme spinners by Mack Rides. It was the prototype for the ride model, and like other prototypes, it is a bit tame, especially in comparison to its counterpart in Belgium. In our vlog, I brought that up as well, which sort of made it seem like I don't like the ride that much. This is not the case at all, as it has some incredible elements, mainly that vertical drop out of the station. That is seriously an insane moment and one of the best first drops ever. Outside of that, this coaster is glossy smooth and consists of a pair of underwhelming launches, a couple of strong ejector moments, especially this one here, and some inversions that would ordinarily be forgettable but are greatly enhanced by the spinning. I will preface that this coaster is drastically better in the back rows, so rows 7 and 8. It can be rather disappointing in any of the other rows, the drop especially, but the ride operators here are usually willing to accommodate row requests if you ask politely. Out of all the rides here, however, Outlaw Run is by far my favorite. It is the first ground-up coaster and the first of only 3 fully wooden coasters by RMC. Outlaw Run is also the first coaster to feature the traditional RMC restraints, and these ones in particular can feel extra restrictive. While this coaster does have a relatively short ride duration, it does feel like a complete ride, packed with unforgettable elements and some absolutely elite pacing. The first drop, the dive under the lift hill, and the double barrel roll finale are especially fantastic. Like all RMCs, I would recommend sitting towards the back to get the full impact from all of these elements. This coaster does have a reputation of being pretty rough, but I've never really agreed. At the end of the day, it is a wooden coaster, so there are a few bumps, and they are likely magnified by the overall aggressiveness of this coaster, but it is still smoother than a large majority of woodies out there. If you are sensitive to roughness, I would recommend sitting in a non-wheel seat, or the first row in every car. Silver Dollar City also has Thunderation, an upscaled aero mine train that is one of the most intense rides in the park. It is sadly closing at the end of 2026, but it should be getting a pretty significant replacement, rumored to be from Mack Rides. Hopefully that is announced in the next couple of months. There's also the Grand Exposition Coaster, a Zamperla family coaster that can actually draw some of the longest lines in the park, and Fire in the Hole, a coaster dark ride hybrid that was recently redone by RMC. This is a long and fun ride, but it can also draw some long lines, and the operations seem to still be a work in progress as of early 2026. I will say this is the only major ride here with subpar operations. All things considered, Silver Dollar City is a special place to me, and I likely would not be a coaster enthusiast at all if I had not visited here for the first time in 2010 when I was 6 years old. But even when I cast my home park bias aside, it is still difficult for me to find any complaints about this place. If there is one thing, it is that this park does have a confusing layout and some difficult terrain, so be prepared to walk up some hills. But besides that, I think that Silver Dollar City is a near perfect park that is filled with rides and attractions that anybody can enjoy, from the most well-traveled coaster enthusiast to families with younger kids. And that is why Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri is one of the few parks in America that I will be giving a perfect 10 out of 10. Make sure to stay tuned here at the Credit Crew, as our videos will speed up once summer rolls around. And as always, thank you so much for watching.